The Florida Strawberry Festival. There's a ton of history here. An idea that started in the spring of 1930, almost a century later, is still going strong. I'm outside of a sandbag site. We were here for a few hours talking to people, and I can definitely tell you the vibe at the sandbag sites are a lot different this time than with Hurricane Ian. I feel extremely chilly out here. I feel like the temperature dropped just a little bit even since I've left my front door. As we've gone from search to recovery, we still have a lot of questions about what happened on the water that day. This is Lake Eloise that's surrounding me now. It's quiet, but when we first arrived on the scene, there was a lot of activity. Take a look at that footage from when we first arrived. You'll see that search kind of underway there. Now, the sheriff's office is calling it a tragic accident involving inexperienced boaters. A lot of people in this community and several others have questions for the Lakeland Police Department after a video surfaced of them hitting a man in the face several times after tasing him. The video, which is hard to watch, was shot by his 17-year-old daughter.
Don't tase him!
That's Antoine Glover, after Lakeland police say he refused to follow instructions
Don't put him in!
after they pulled him over for not wearing the seatbelt. Now, Glover had weed in the car, and the police affidavit said it smelled like weed in there, too. Now, that's something Glover told me he didn't deny, adding that he has his medical marijuana license.
He don't have him in cuffs. He fights us every time.
He just put him in the headlock. He put him in the headlock.
Now, the affidavit said Glover placed one of the officers in a chokehold, which wasn't seen on the cell phone footage. So I asked the Lakeland Police Department if there was body cam footage available. But Lakeland Police says not all their officers have body cameras, including those involved in the incident. The department said they issued 170 of the 250 body cameras that they received in December of 2022. I also spoke with Glover and his family. His daughter, who was recording the incident, and her mother were also arrested that night.
They put her handcuffs. They put my mom in handcuffs.
These are people you're supposed to go to for help. So, what can you tell your child? All I can tell her is that Daddy's still here. Thank God.
Glover was charged with resisting an officer with violence, battery, and possession of marijuana. Local groups like the Black Lives Matter Restoration of Polk County are helping the family see criminal charges for the 4 officers that were involved in the incident. Lakeland Police says the incident is under an investigation, and the results of that investigation could take up to 180 days. In Polk County, Ashonti Ford, Spectrum News.
Who is it that needs permission from the king to speak? Businesses? Teachers? Public servants? Who's next?
Hillsborough County State Attorney Andrew Warren on Governor Ron DeSantis' decision to suspend him after he spoke in opposition to new laws championed by the governor's office and potential laws that could come soon.
I signed on to 2 value statements expressing my opposition to laws that were being considered, laws that would have violated people's constitutional rights. None of those cases have come before me yet. In fact, one of the laws on abortion has been held unconstitutional, and the other law regarding gender-affirming care isn't even a law in the state of Florida.
Warren now telling me he's being punished for not enforcing laws that technically don't exist yet.
This isn't about suspending one elected official. This is about overthrowing democracy in Hillsborough County and in the state of Florida. If the governor can just pick and choose whoever he wants in office, then why even have elections? That's what they do in other countries, Venezuela, Russia, North Korea. The king, the despot, just picks people to serve in positions. That is not what America's about. That's not democracy.
And he said he first learned the news of his suspension when law enforcement removed him from his office. What were your thoughts when law enforcement escorted you out of your office?
I was totally blindsided by this plot to illegally throw me out of office. I didn't have time to even review the order, was given no warning, didn't have time to even grab my things.
Warren plans to fight this decision and has a legal team in place to do so.
We're going to fight back against this illegal order. We're going to fight and fight vigorously.
Now, before I show you that body cam footage, I just want to give you a little bit of context. An 80-year-old woman was pushing her granddaughter in a stroller through her apartment complex, which is right where I am off of Del Mabry, when a car backed out of a parking spot and hit both the grandmother and the granddaughter, trapping both of them underneath the car. Now, Grandma is still in critical condition, but the baby girl, she's okay. And that's something that Tampa police are calling a miracle.
Huh? Oh, baby. It's okay, it's okay.
Sounds from underneath the car that Tampa police say hit an 80-year-old woman and her granddaughter. Body cam footage here showing the struggle to safely pull them out.
We need a knife. Give me shit. Cutter, some kind of cutter.
Rescue crews, with help from neighbors, had to use a hydraulic jack to raise the car and pull the two out. Corporal Lance Baker telling me he pulled grocery items out from between the woman and the car just to allow her to breathe. The driver of the car said he was backing out of his parking spot and did not see the woman and child. Not long after, he realized he had hit someone and that they were both still alive. A neighbor quickly called 911.
Yeah, here, come here.
A close call for both grandma and the little one. The responding officers were able to pull them from under the car safely.
I don't know if I could watch a video of how that happened and understand it. The position that they were in under that car, 28 years of law enforcement, I don't, I've never seen anything like it, so I don't know how to even explain that.
Now, currently, Grandma is in the hospital under critical condition, and the little girl is home safe with her family, recovering. In Tampa, Ashonti Ford, Spectrum News. Spencer Holland was an attorney who later went on to become the 28th governor of the state of Florida. He was a very influential man that did a lot of things for the state, but he was also a man that was against the Civil Rights Act of 1964, also against the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This was a man that believed in segregation, which is why some feel their children's school should not be named after him.
Because it doesn't represent all the kids.
This is Stephanie Buck. She's a researcher, but first, she's a mom.
Spencer Holland didn't believe that kids should be together and that they should have integration. Spencer Holland Elementary School represents 55% minority students. Everybody deserves to know why that name is being plastered on their t-shirts.
And Ms. Buck said she wants to use what she calls her privilege to shed light on this matter. Now again, she's a researcher, so even though this is an emotional topic for this mother of biracial children, she came to me with some facts.
This is the board member that approved it in 2008, and then this is all the paperwork with the references.
And though Buck isn't necessarily asking for the school's name to be changed, she believes more transparency is needed in the school's website to outline who Holland was.
And I have to raise awareness. I'm a researcher, I'm a scholar. This is really important to bring forth these issues and use the skills that I have to inform people, because the school isn't doing it.
Now, after serving as governor, Holland became a U.S. senator, notably proposing the 24th Amendment, which prohibited any kind of poll tax. However, reiterating his stance on segregation, he also opposed the Supreme Court ruling in Brown versus Board of Education. Now, I did reach out to Polk County School District. They said ultimately the school board is responsible for the final decision of renaming any facility, adding that first the community has to come forward and request it. In Polk County, Ashonti Ford, Spectrum News.